What began as a strike by merchants in Tehran has quickly escalated into nationwide protests and deadly clashes with security forces across Iran. Why, you may ask?
Financial and cost of living protests in Iran have transformed into explicit anti-regime demonstrations due to a long simmering and deepening economic crisis. There is widespread public anger over government corruption and mismanagement, and a belief that the system is incapable of reform. Now, the immediate trigger for the current protest was the collapse of the national currency, the Rial.
It was a sudden nosedive in the value of Iran's currency, the final blow to a population growing tired of being patient under an ailing economy. Over the days, the intensity of the protests grew, soon leading up to being one of the largest protest movements that the country has seen in years. And while it would not be the first of protests seen since the inception of the Islamic Republic, this latest round has decidedly come at a difficult time for the regime, amid a series of economic damages from losing a war with Israel and so on.
I do not think Iran is going to be defeated very easily. When the US attacked Iran ostensibly to bomb its nuclear facilities, that didn't work. Iran was smarter. It had already moved the 400 odd kilos of enriched uranium elsewhere, and its centrifuges were largely untouched. When Israel tried to attack Iran, its planes went near Iran and all the radars were locked, and they had to immediately run back. And when Iran decided to attack Israel, they touched up, and nobody talks about it, none of the mainstream media talks about it. They destroyed an airport called Nevatim, which is the largest airport and the most secure airport in the Middle East. It was bombed, its communication centers are damaged, its other tower within the midst of Tel Aviv, under houses where Israel had its secret chamber, was also destroyed by the communication center.
And if this internal tension was not bad enough, Iran is also now susceptible to external pressure and violence. There is a lot of concern in Iran, after all, that the United States or Israel will use force.
First attack, Nevatim was destroyed. The second attack, Tel Aviv was attacked and its control center destroyed. And Israel has realized that Iran can evade every iron dome that Israel has, and Iran can destroy it. So it wants America to go in again. And America is controlled by Israel. So if Iran is defeated, expect Iran to retaliate. The Hormuz Strait will be blocked. All oil to the world is blocked. And it will start attacking every American base in the Middle East. The Middle East will be up in fire. It's being supported by China and Russia.
This, as US President Donald Trump in a Truth Social post on Friday said that the United States could consider some form of intervention if Iran were to continue violent killing of peaceful protesters. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has followed suit.
Say to the entire world, never again, never again, never. Never again was last year, in which we demonstrated to the would-be destroyers of Israel, we shall destroy you, you shall not destroy us. Never again is next year, and never again is forever. Because we have changed Jewish history. The establishment of the sovereign Jewish state and the sovereign Jewish army and our defense arms, we are able to do something that Jews for centuries in the diaspora could not do. We were vilified by horrible lies. We're poisoning the wells. We're massacring Christian children to use their blood to bake matzos for Pesach. We were carrying vermin. And these vilifications always preceded physical attack.
Iran's government has said it was listening to the voice of people and was seeking to restore calm.
تکرار میکنم این موضوع رو که شنیدن صدای مردم، حتی صدای اعتراض مردم، حتی صدای اعتراض تند مردم وظیفه دولت هست. همه تلاش خودمون رو میکنیم با جریان گفتگویی که ایجاد شده و با اقدامات اصلاحی که داره صورت میگیره بتونیم آرامش رو برگردانیم و همچنان که آقای رئیس جمهور هم دستور دادن که گفتگوی شکل بگیره و تلاش‌هایی برای بازگرداندن ثبات و آرامش به هم فضای جامعه و هم اقتصاد انشاءالله شاهدش باشیم.
All this seems aimed at fending off American pressure.
ما در جنگ تمام عیار، یعنی اینا الان بیشترین امیدشون برای اینه که ما رو از نظر اقتصادی زمین بزنن. با هواپیما و با موشک و با نمیدونم بمباران که این مملکت رو نمیشه تسخیر کرد. باید بیان زمین و در زمین با این مردم میخوان برخورد کنن که امکان نداره اگر ما مصمم باشیم، همدل باشیم و برای ایرانمان و برای سربلندی کشورمون تلاش بکنیم و با هم حرکت بکنیم، اونا نمیتونن و نخواهند تونست ایران ما رو به زانو در بیارن.
A worried supreme leader, particularly after the Venezuela developments, Ayatollah Khamenei is also trying to clamp down on the situation.
این گران شدن قیمت ارز خارجی، بالا رفتن بی حساب قیمت ارز خارجی در عدم ثبات و بره بالا بیاد پایین که کاسب ندونه تکلیفش چیه، این طبیعی نیست، این کار دشمنه. آدم تحریک شده مزدور دشمن پشت سر بازاری ها بایستن و شعار ضد اسلام و ضد ایران و ضد جمهوری اسلامی بدن. این مهمه. ما با معترض حرف میزنیم، باید حرف بزنن مسئولین با معترض، اما با اغتشاشگر حرف زدن فایده ای نداره. اغتشاشگر رو باید به جای خودش نشان. در مقابل دشمن کوتاه نمیاییم. ما با اتکال به خدای متعال، با اتکال به خدای متعال و با اطمینان به همراهی مردم انشاءالله به توفیق الهی دشمن رو به زانو در خواهیم آورد.
As for how effective is the regime's strategy of blaming foreign interference while using force to suppress domestic dissent?
The Iranian regime's strategy of blaming foreign interference while using force to suppress domestic dissent has mixed effectiveness. It secures short-term stability internally, but it loses credibility among citizens and also among other nations. By framing protests as a foreign-backed security threat, the regime has been justifying a harsh, coercive response, including violence, mass arrests, and internet shutdowns. So the narrative of a Western Israeli-led plot to destabilize the country is consistently pushed by state media and officials. This messaging resonates with some sections of Iranian society and helps to maintain a degree of some unity amongst the loyalists. But the narrative has lost credibility among the vast Iranian community. Most Iranians attribute the protests to the state's own economic mismanagement, corruption, and political repression rather than external factors. So there is a growing gap between the state's narrative and the public's perception of reality. Let me state that even some government officials, including President Pezeshkian, have acknowledged that internal failures, not foreign interference, are to blame for public anger. And this has undermined the hardline stance which has been taken by the regime.
This urge to quell protests and establish some semblance of peace has gained an element of urgency, as the American operation in Caracas to capture Maduro panned out just a day after Trump's warning on Iran. Question is, would the Iranian regime succeed in quelling the protests, or would Uncle Sam move in to take charge?